And Yotam Ottolenghi joins us from London.
Good morning.
Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to the project. Congrats on the new book. It's called Shelf Love, which I love. Was it inspired by you raiding your kitchen shelves in lockdown like the rest of us?
Yeah, exactly. So myself and my co-author, Noor Murad, have decided to really embrace the moment. And what we were all doing this time last year, where we were actually a bit earlier in the year, where we were in the height of the first lockdown, was raiding our shelves, our pantries, our freezers, our fridges, our veg boxes, because you couldn't go out shopping so easily. And when you did go out shopping, you couldn't get all the ingredients you wanted. So in a very un-Ottolenghi fashion, I didn't send everybody out on a journey to go and buy very hard to get exotic ingredients, but rather kind of focus on what you've got in your pantry, which is, your pasta and your rice and your chickpeas and your frozen peas. But turn those into incredible meals, like really fantastic, feasts of meals.
I think you have high hopes, because this is not your average cookbook. You want people to take your recipes and make them their own. Normally when I make a recipe my own, it's a disaster and I don't add anything good to a good recipe. Is it dangerous? Is there a chance people are going to ruin your recipes then go, what a terrible recipe?
So they're proper recipes. So, you could really follow the recipe if you want, and the ingredients are simple. So you can have a can of chickpeas, or you can have a tin of beans, etc., and follow the recipe from start to finish, and you'll get a great result. If you do want to play around, there's little notes you could put at the bottom of the page saying, I swapped this with that and it worked. But also we kind of give the parameters for the changes we are kind of recommend making. So, if you do want to swap your chickpeas, you want to swap it with another legume, like a bean or a pea. You don't want to swap it with like a fillet steak or something. I mean, it's just... those are the kind of...
This book talks about creating food with a little twist, a chefy addition. But do you have any guilty pleasures? Like, would you ever put tomato sauce on scrambled eggs or put chips into a sandwich?
Yeah, all of the above, really. I would actually, so for instance, all the stuff that you could do with instant noodles, I've tried, I have had them, the least offensive, I guess, is just to have them as they are with all the condiments and the lovely MSG, and that's just delicious. But to deep fry them and turning into a topping for something else is just absolutely delicious. And I've, on some kind of rare occasions, they ended up in fritters. I just think I'm not really snobby about what I eat. I love good food. I love vegetables. But, when you want to make something with something that you've got, I think everything is fine. And this is also what the message is in this book. I mean, grab what you've got in your cupboard, in your pantry. It really is a perfect book for when you're stuck at home and you want to cook comfort food that is not too challenging and you don't need to go out to do your shopping.
Another thing I've noticed over the last few years, there's no doubt there's been a Brussels sprouts revolution, and I'm told that you are partly responsible for this. Do you claim credit for this revolution?
Oh, I love Brussels sprouts. So my dear late mother-in-law used to, this was the first time I've seen the actual crime of, cremating Brussels sprouts. So she used to do it in a typical sort of Anglo-Saxon kind of way. She's Irish, and she would pot it in a pot and forget about them for about an hour and come back, and there was this kind of, gray or horrible sludge of Brussels sprouts. And I kind of do the exact opposite. I undercook them. So I use them in slaw, and I roast them, and I sprinkle them with pomegranate seeds or whatever I've got, or like chopped up lemon. And so, yeah, I love Brussels sprouts, and I'll roast them any day, thinly sliced or just halved, lots of olive oil, a bit of garlic, in the oven, 20 minutes, hot oven, and you got something absolutely delicious.
We still have half the show to go, which is really annoying because I want to eat dinner now.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
But it means you've done very, very well talking to us about food. Yotam Ottolenghi's new book is called Shelf Love. It is available now. Yotam, it's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Have a good night. For me, it's morning time, so I'm going to go and have my breakfast.
Okay, enjoy.
What is breakfast, by the way?
Well, normally we have fried eggs for breakfast. So my kids are downstairs. They're about to go to school. So we have fried eggs, buttered sourdough, or sometimes with mayo and some sliced cucumber. That's breakfast in our house.
You said tomato sauce. You said you were down with that.
Well, sometimes, you know, I have to be in a real bad kind of situation where tomato sauce comes out.
Thanks, Yotam.
Thank you, guys.
Hey there, it's about time you finished that video. I contractually had to wait so I could tell you to subscribe. Subscribe. I'm waiting. Now I can go home. Woo!